It's kind of hard to believe and quite frankly very scary that I've tried this many sunscreens, but if you're acne prone and you're looking for your perfect sunscreen, I'm gonna tell you everything that you need to know about all of these options because they have been tested on my acne prone skin and they've been checked for potential pore cloggers. I'm gonna split this up into 3 categories: mineral or physical sunscreen, and then at the end we'll look at mists and sticks, which are reapplying options, and then I will also let you know if they are silicone based or water based if you plan on wearing these sunscreens under makeup. All of these have been checked on Acne Clinic NYC for potential pore cloggers. Also, if you guys notice these little stickers, I put those on silicone based products. Sometimes they're on the front, sometimes they're underneath, but if you do see a sticker, that's just kind of a way for me to know that it is silicone based. Let's start with mineral sunscreens. We have our water based options and our silicone based options. Just to refresh how we know if a product is silicone based or water based is we want to look for silicones themselves, and silicones will end in cone or siloxane. If a product has silicones, we want to pair it with other silicone based products to prevent any pilling or separation. This makes the most sense when we're wearing makeup. If you ever deal with your makeup just separating or you get those little pills when rubbing it in, it could be that you're not matching silicone based with other silicone based products, or you're not matching water based with other water based products. Silicone based and water based don't mix well together, and although it's a general rule, it doesn't mean it's always going to happen. It's just something to keep in mind if you're having trouble with your makeup application. Live Tinted Hue Guard Sunscreen. This is probably my favorite water-based mineral sunscreen. It has 0 white cast, no smell, it blends in beautifully, it has a bit of a glow, it works beautifully under makeup. I also feel like the price is pretty fair. I also love that you can get it in this giant tube. I really stand by this being one of the best. Bubble Skincare Solar Mate Sunscreen. This is the most affordable water-based drugstore mineral that I own. This has more of a natural finish. It's not too glowy, it's not too matte. I feel like it's right in the middle. It's nice for an everyday sunscreen. It works great under makeup. I honestly can't say anything bad about this. It's probably my second favorite. Next up, we have Rose Inc Solar Power Luminous Sun Serum. Now, I never really like these dropper bottles. I feel like it just makes it really hard to get product out sometimes. This does give you a really beautiful luminous look, so wearing it under makeup kind of gives you that glow from within appearance. For my preference, I do feel like this might make my skin almost too glowy. I definitely need to combat that with a lot of setting powder, but it doesn't have a strong scent. There's no white cast. It blends in really pretty, and it's not a bad option to go with. Elta MD UV Restorer. I didn't really like this. It gave me a white cast, kind of has a sunscreen smell, which I don't always hate, but it just overall wasn't a good experience. And it's kind of expensive, so is it worth it? Probably not. Covey Sun and Done. Now this one doesn't have a white cast. When you initially put this on, it does kind of have a white cast, but once you rub it in, it goes away. It's a natural semi-glowy finish. I don't think it's priced super high, and I did enjoy it. Clear Stem You Are Sunshine. When I want to go makeup free and I just want to soften the look of my pores and just kind of mattify my entire skin, this does a really good job at that. I love Clear Stem, the brand. I love what they stand for, especially for people with hormonal acne or people who are pregnant or breastfeeding. I think it's a great brand to look into. Don't know if this is worth the price. I really like this. Like, I enjoy wearing it. I just feel like I have cheaper sunscreens that I like better. I can't say anything bad about this aside from the price. Avene Solaire UV. This is not the vibe. White cast, very harsh sunscreen smell, leaves your skin greasy. This will probably be donated to Austin for his golf days because he doesn't really care what he uses. We're done with our water-based mineral options, so now let's move on to our silicone-based mineral option. This is a Korean skincare brand. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm going to guess Numbuzzin porcelain-based sunscreen. This one kind of reminds me of the Clear Stem one, just at being able to mattify and soften the look of your pores. However, I have pretty fair skin, and I felt like this was almost too light for my skin. It would not work for any darker complexions, and they only have one shade, which is very disappointing. It's a great product if you have a lighter complexion than me. They need to expand their shade range if they want other people to use this. Next up, we have Color Science Sunforgettable Glow. I love this stuff. However, when I first checked this on Acne Clinic NYC, it passed the test with no potential pore cloggers, but I just checked it again a few days ago, and now cornstarch, which is in this product, is being flagged as a potential pore clogger, but I've still been using this. I have not had any issues, so I just wanted to put that out there. As we all know, just because it has a potential pore clogger doesn't mean it's actually going to make you break out. The percentage matters, a lot of different factors matter, but just something to keep in mind if you are very strict in trying new things. It's the closest dupe to Super Glue Glow Screen. sunscreen. It just gives you this like beautiful highlighter, glowy skin. Love this under makeup. If I want just a little pop of shine underneath, I'll put this on and it's just a beautiful finish. I just want to show you kind of the finish so you can see the glow that it gives. Maybe a little bit of a sunscreen scent, but very subtle, nothing that I'm going to complain about. But look how pretty that is. Definitely on the pricier end, but this is not an everyday sunscreen for me. This is something that I like to use with makeup. L2MD UV Elements Tinted. I have gone through almost 2 bottles of these. As you can tell, I'm already out of my second. This is my favorite tinted sunscreen. If you love L2MD UV Clear, but you don't want to use it because it does have a few potential pore cloggers, this is a great substitute to that, except this is mineral, where L2MD UV Clear is a hybrid, so both mineral and chemical. This is just so beautiful on the skin. It helps even out your skin tone. It leans a little bit on the warm side. If I don't have self tan on, it does look a little too warm for my skin, so I'll take like a blue color corrector on top and kind of help neutralize that color. But I just love the finish. It's super smoothing, a hint of a glow. It also has antioxidants in it, so you get that antioxidant benefit, which is great along with sunscreen. And then the tint also helps prevent your skin from damage from blue light because of those added pigments from iron oxide. This is a little bit on the expensive side. I think it's worth every penny. If you want a good tinted mineral option, this is definitely my go-to. This is the most affordable tinted mineral I own. Think everyday face. I don't hate this, but I also don't love this, but it's a great affordable option if you want a tinted sunscreen with some iron oxides for that added benefit. It's a little thick. It definitely has a sunscreen smell. Even though it doesn't have any potential pore cloggers, it just kind of feels heavy on the skin. It's just so affordable, like might as well go try it just in case you end up loving it. But with how many sunscreens I've tried, I just can't get myself to use this one. L2MD UV Sheer. This one's really pretty. Bit of a sunscreen smell, but the finish is absolutely beautiful. It just sinks into your skin. Super sheer, hydrating, works really good under silicone-based makeup, and it does not at all feel like a physical sunscreen. It almost feels like a chemical sunscreen. I would say this is a great alternative. Now we're gonna do chemical. There's a lot of them, so I'm gonna try to run through these quicker. I only have 2 water-based chemical options, and this one is my favorite chemical water-based option at the drugstore. Hawaiian Tropic Weightless Face. It very much has that tropical banana boat sunscreen smell. If you don't like scent like that, I would not try this. But I promise you, when I wear this, I get the most compliments ever. It gives you glass skin. It's the best way to put it. Glowy glass skin. Maybe too glassy for some people, but it's not at all greasy in my opinion. It looks good under makeup. It blends in really well. I kind of like the scent. It's not a scent that irritates my skin at all, and I do have sensitive skin. Yeah, this is just kind of my go-to. I go through so many of these bottles a year. Isntree Hyaluronic Acid Sun Gel. Great affordable Korean sunscreen option. I don't have a lot of chemical water-based options, so I definitely like this. It blends in well. It's really hydrating. You can't go wrong with this. Now we're moving on to our silicone-based chemical sunscreen options. Obviously, there's a lot of them. Madagascar Centella Sun Serum. When I first checked this, it had no potential pore cloggers, but I checked again and now there's one. I don't know if they added a new ingredient to the site, but I still wear this several times a week. I've never had issues. It's so hydrating. I can skip my moisturizer with this. It's that hydrating. It feels like a moisturizer. Beautiful under silicone-based makeup. I love this stuff. And it's never made me break out. Affordable Korean sunscreen option. Can't go wrong. How do you pronounce that? Unique Centella Calming Sunscreen. A beautiful formula like most Korean sunscreens do. It's hydrating. Maybe not as hydrating as this one, but still hydrating enough. I forgot to say, all 3 of these Korean sunscreens don't have any scent. Can't say anything bad about this. Neutrogena Sheer Face Serum. Another example of one that originally passed the test, and then I checked again and it's saying that starch is a potential pore clogger. I've never had issues with this. Just goes to show that sometimes potential pore cloggers aren't something to actually be concerned about. If you want to play it safe, there was one ingredient that was flagged. A nice travel size for when I'm going out of town. Super moisturizing, blends in really well. It's fragrance free, great for sensitive skin. I feel like if you get this in your eyes though, it can sting a little bit. This is a nice reliable option because you can find this at a lot of drugstores. Image Clear Solar Gel. I feel like they really tried to be unique with this formula. I don't really like the consistency, kind of greasy. I don't feel like it dries down. And for how expensive it is, just have better sunscreen options. I will get through this for the sake of not wasting skincare. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Zitstica Mega Shade. I like this because it's easily accessible. You can get this at Target. However, I hate These dropper bottles. Can we stop doing these dropper bottles in sunscreen? You have to use so much more sunscreen than other products. Don't feel like it ever makes sense to have a dropper bottle. The consistency is beautiful. It definitely blends in well. More on the glowy side than natural or matte. Great for acne prone and sensitive skin. No scent. I think this is a good option. Naked Sunday Sun Serum. I feel like the consistency of this is what this Image sunscreen was trying to go for. I think that they executed it a little bit better. This clear jelly formula that sinks into the skin. It's not too greasy afterwards. There's kind of a strong chemical scent, I guess you would call it. It does kind of soften the skin and the look of your pores. I do really like this, but I don't use it that much. So that just shows that I do have others that I like more. This brand has kind of gotten popular in the last year. If you're thinking about trying this brand, this is a good place to start. Laneige Hydro UV Defense. This is really pretty on the skin, hydrating, blends in well, very strong scent. If you like a scent, then maybe you would like this. Too overwhelming for me to want to use. Another Korean skincare brand. I won't even try to pronounce that. This is a lot creamier and thicker than the other Korean sunscreens I've talked about today. I like it. I just prefer something that's a little bit more lightweight and hydrating than thicker and creamy. Doesn't seem like there's a scent to it. I feel like this would work great for dry acne prone skin. Neutrogena Hydro Boost Moisturizer. Very hydrating, very lightweight. When I went to Coachella last year, this one was like my favorite to use because my skin was just so dry from the desert weather. But this does sting if you get it in your eyes, so just don't use it on your eyelids. La Roche-Posay and Thelios SPF 70. This one leaves a white cast on me, and I don't usually see chemical sunscreens leaving a white cast, so I was a little confused by that. Used it once and never used it again. Posar X Aloe Soothing Sun Cream. Usually when you see aloe in skincare, you think it'll be great for sensitive skin, but this does have somewhat of a scent to it, so I personally wouldn't use it on my skin when it's sensitive, but it really is nice. It's not glowy, it's not matte, perfect in between. I actually tried this because of Makeup by Ariel, Kylie Jenner's makeup artist, was raving about this on his TikTok, and I love Korean skincare. I thought I'd give it a try. Like it. I have ones that I like more. I do like this option, especially for the days where I don't want like a really super glowy base. Works beautiful under makeup though. So yeah, I think it's a great option. Paula's Choice Youth Extending Hydrating Fluid. Ask me 2 years ago, this was my all-time favorite. It's still definitely up there, but once I started using Korean sunscreen brands, I felt like I was getting that same finish for a lot cheaper. However, I do like how lightweight this is. It's like a very liquidy, watery texture. It hydrates your skin. It doesn't leave too much of a glow, dries down. So if you're someone that wants something that doesn't leave like a film on your skin, it definitely dries down to like a more natural finish. Has antioxidants, so you're getting that antioxidant benefit. And I still use this all the time. I wouldn't say it's my all-time favorite now, but we are getting to my all-time favorite one next. I had to think long and hard about what my favorite chemical sunscreen is, but it's gotta be this one. It's the Round Labs Birch Juice Sunscreen. It is so beautiful and hydrating and youthful, a little bit of a glow. One of my favorites to use under my silicone-based makeup. I'm sure you can tell by now that I love the formulas of Korean sunscreens. I feel like they're all very cosmetically elegant and affordable. I go through so much sunscreen that affordability is definitely something that's important to me, and this one kind of checks all the boxes. I can't really think of anything it needs to improve on. A beautiful sunscreen. I would say this is my second most used sunscreen. The Innisfree Daily UV Defense blends in beautifully, moisturizing. Kind of hard to get Korean sunscreens. You have to wait a while usually, unless you buy them through like TikTok shop, but you can get this at Sephora. So I do really like that I can quickly get this if I need it. It's a great one, great under makeup, fragrance free, great for sensitive skin. But yeah, nothing bad to say about this. Now on to some sunscreens that are meant for reapplication. First up, we have Kate Somerville's SPF Setting Mist. Strong scent, super fine mist, works great, but if you don't like a strong scent, you will not like this. Probably my favorite product for reapplication because I do feel like it actually sets my makeup as well. Naked Sunday's Glow Mist. It doesn't have as much of that setting power. It's a very fine mist. I think it works great. I do feel like I need to take like a setting powder and just like really work it in afterwards because it kind of leaves a bit of a glow. Also has fragrance. Maybe this one's a little stronger. If you want to use a stick to reapply, it's probably going to mess up your makeup a little bit at least. Naked Sundays has a great stick. Shiseido also has a great stick. This is a Korean brand called Abib. And then of course we have the very well-known Supergoop Glow Stick. This one leaves behind very much of a glow on your skin. They're not perfect. I feel like you have to clean them off a lot to disinfect them. I like to use them when I don't want to touch my face and maybe I don't have makeup on my skin. I just don't use these as much, especially when I'm wearing makeup. If I'm going on a hike or if I'm working out outside and I need to reapply, these are great products to have, but you know, they have their flaws. If I'm wearing makeup and I just kind of want a quick touch up, I love love this Clear Stem brush on sunscreen, but I don't feel like you get as good of an application when you use a brush on. You're gonna get more of like a splotchy application. I think it's better than nothing. It's nice and mattifying. Like your skin's really oily, this is great to kind of nicely mattify it. But again, we run into the issue of bacteria buildup on the brush, so you just want to make sure that you're cleaning this. So yeah, I'll use this on my scalp, but for reapplication, I'm usually using these two, but sometimes I'll just go in with my sunscreen with like a beauty blender on top, and I like that as well. So it just depends on what your preference is. I can't say any of them are perfect. I wish these were fragrance free. I wish these didn't mess up my makeup. I wish this had better overall coverage for SPF protection. So that is that. But if there's any other sunscreens that you love that you want me to try out, let me know in the comments. I'm always willing to try more. Sunscreen should be the most important part of your skincare routine, so make sure to protect your skin.